Welcome to Noel Anderson's 15 Minutes of Fame. Tonight's tale, Unforgettable Monty. A simple love story that proves grand passion can be found in the humblest corners of a theatre. Settle in. The house lights are going down, and the show is about to begin. Beneath the folds of the velvet curtain and the echo of long-forgotten applause lived a gentleman named Monty. Not a pest, nor a nuisance, a worldly mouse with a pink nose and a devotion to the arts. He claimed row G, seat 17 at the Princess Theatre in Melbourne. He was born behind the orchestra pit on a winter's day and raised on ghost lights in the lamingtons left by ushers and backstage hands. Monty was not the only theatre mouse in town. The city was full of thespian types, but he was the only one who could quote Shakespeare and who loved ballet and musicals. He watched Finian's Rainbow 1,000 times in the wings at the Princess Theatre back in 1964, enchanted by its whimsy and its political bite. From discarded newspapers in the foyer, the moral ledger on Tuesdays and Fridays in The Age, he had fashioned a social conscience. While other mice chased tails and searched for cheese in Flinders Lane, Monty read about the world outside the Princess Theatre. One headline stayed with him: a society is judged not by its wealth, but by the kindness it shows to those who dwell in its shadows. He loved it so much he tucked the page under seat 17 for safekeeping. Each night he watched the dancers warm up before Swan Lake. He longed not for stardom but for love. He fell head over tail for Isadora Belle, a ballerina whose grace made the stage a kinder place. She never noticed him, not truly, until one night her ribbon slipped mid-pirouette. A little grey blur darted forward and retrieved it, returning it with all the tenderness of a stagehand carrying the whole score of Swan Lake in his heart.
"Oh, sweet lady, I believe you dropped this."
Isadora screamed and fled. Monty was disappointed, but he persisted. He began leaving tiny gifts: a rose on her vanity, a lost button, a perfectly placed morsel of cheese in a point shoe that went squelch as she slid her toes in. At first, she was bewildered, but slowly she started to appreciate the small, watchful presents. The little mouse was someone unforgettable. Then came the fire. A faulty stage light exploded. A spark caught the curtain, and the Princess Theatre flared up like a scene from a tragic finale. Monty watched in horror as the Swan Lake backdrop collapsed, and an ember landed on Isadora's tutu mid-pirouette. The house stopped. People scrambled for the exits. Isadora, frantic, grabbed a water pitcher and doused her tutu. Smoke curled around her face as she snatched a velvety black cape from a swan-shaped coat rack and wrapped it tight. But she was trapped. Monty's heart thundered louder than any curtain call. He scurried through rubble and fallen props and up the creaky coat rack to where Isadora stood, ash dusting her lashes.
"Isadora Belle, don't be scared. Let me introduce myself properly, perilous timing aside. My name is Montague Archibald Leopold Thistle III, but most people know me as Monty. I'm the resident theatre mouse of the Princess Theatre. You may have seen me lounging about in the dress circle near the bar."
Isadora, stunned, found herself listening. The mouse spoke with certainty and noble diction and had more stage presence than many leading men. "Montague Archibald Leopold Thistle III, she repeated. "What a mouthful, darling."
"I blame my parents,"
Monty said, bowing. "You're real," she whispered. "I thought you a peculiar hallucination from my dreams. Are you the one who leaves the gifts? The rose? The damn cheese?" Monty bowed again.
"My intentions are noble, Miss Belle, even if my posture and my height are questionable."
Suddenly, the chandelier fell into the orchestra pit. "If we are dancing toward danger," Isadora said, "we'd best do it in time. Lead on, dear Monty. No pas de chats, I prefer a leap of faith." By sunrise the princess was blackened but standing, thanks to Melbourne's brave fire service. Isadora sat on the curb, lighting a cigarette, Monty tucked near her cheek. "Thank goodness, the theatre is still standing. Marvelous," she said.
"Yes, but half ruined. Half ready. Like most of us, I suppose,"
Monty replied. "Let us not be melancholy," she told him. "The princess will rise from the ashes with a little love and attention. Everything does." She smiled, blew smoke his way, and held him close. "We are no longer just acquaintances. We are theatre mates. Friends forever. Reporters from the Age crowded in, asking who had saved the Swan in Swan Lake. The answer slipped through theatre circles for decades. Some called it myth, some stage magic. But it was simply a tale of a mouse in love. The Princess Theatre was rebuilt. By the box office sits a small statue of a mouse, rose in paw and longing in his eyes, a striking likeness of Montague Archibald Leopold Thistle III. Performers touch it for luck before every show. And often, as the curtain rises on Swan Lake, some swear they hear the softest applause from the stalls, row G, seat 17. Remember, when the lights come up, that the theatre is full of stories. And the smallest heart can cast the longest shadow. Until the next curtain call, keep your eyes on the aisles.
You never know who might be watching.
I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Unforgettable Monty. Written by Noel Anderson and produced by Harlequin Ink.
If you enjoyed this podcast, Noel Anderson's 15 Minutes of Fame, remember to subscribe and share.